This is how to write, paint, podcast, and not lose your mind. It's a vlog, I guess, my first vlog, about my creative process, life, meanderings, endeavors, at least for this summer, semi-regularly, I think, maybe. Please don't count on this at all. I hope you don't get too attached. Although, I am hoping to build some sort of community. That's also the purpose here. Basically, I've been doing some kind of writing or painting or drawing or designing for a long time, but I am horrible with consistency and start a million different creative endeavors, and I feel like I haven't really followed any threads. I feel like I've learned a bunch of skills but not really mastered any of them. I just learned 5 different Adobe programs to do particular projects, and then decided that I needed to make some plan to monetize that skill and start doing design work for people and everything else. And yeah, I still haven't gotten super far with that. The problem is there are some projects I have gotten far on, or some things that I really am excited about making long-term projects and seeing them through. So in my adulthood, as I've gotten better with time management and actually done project management in my job, I decided to try to apply some of those things to my creative work. So last year I actually started and did a short season of a podcast called Better With You, and it was a lot of fun and it was really awesome, and I worked super crazy hard on it to the point that I got really burnt out, and I really want to pick it back up again. And I've done a lot of work to try to get to the point of starting a second season, but I think I'm still a little intimidated after my burnout to sit down and really get into the writing of it. I feel like a lot of my creativity has also been based on envy. I got really into graphic novels, got super obsessed with particular authors, artists, and artistic styles and coloring, and I still to this day I'd love to master that skill and do an intense study of the comics that I like, and be able to illustrate and write one of my own one day. But that's a whole other thing. I have this podcast pick back up, and then recently I just outlined this whole novel that I want to write, which has been really crazy. I have all these ideas floating around in my head. I don't know if anyone else has this experience, but I feel the warm weather comes on, and all of a sudden there's this manic energy to create and to do, and then something happens. My wife got sick for a little bit, and I took on a bunch of just a little bit more of the chores and stuff, and I had started all of these projects right before then, and I was just out of my mind because there was just stuff all over the house, open paint cans for a room we were painting, and wood from projects here and there, and so I just am super anxious because I think my expectations for myself and what I'm able to do practically and my personal growth just rarely match up. I just am trying to figure out that question. I think I've rediscovered the internet and YouTube, really. I started trying to learn to do cartooning, to just do one little project for my daughter's room. I feel people do videos that are how-to videos, and just because they have those 2 words, they get millions of views. If anything, our generation is rediscovering that adulthood was not taught to us. There's a million things that we just have to learn on our feet. I think it goes the same with stuff that you love to do. It's not just taxes and buying a house, different creative skills too. No one's born knowing how to do it. And I think I don't have the skill that a lot of people have of focusing in on one thing. But I think I am pretty reflective. What has done me best with the creative endeavors that I have followed through and that I have been proud of so far has been the fact that I realized what's important. And I think what's important is that I just create, that I want to get up and I want to create something, that I have an idea, I try it, I just tell somebody, I speak it into the world in some way, and it might not get finished, and it might not become something profitable. It probably will not become anything profitable at all, but at least it'll be out there. And I think that is just important for me. I think that if I didn't create something, if I wasn't always trying to put color and life into the world around me and make things beautiful, tell stories through painting and writing and podcasting, I think if I didn't do those things, I would lose my mind. I think that's exactly the point. How not to lose my mind is to write and to paint and to podcast. How to do those things is a question I'm still trying to figure out. And I think it's separate from learning how to monetize something or how to even finish something, because anyone can write, anyone can paint, and if you have something to record, you can probably podcast. I think a lot fewer people can be happy, can learn how to live with their limitations, even more than trust the process, just enjoy the ride. So I'd like to do that, but I'd also like to try to follow some of these threads, because I'm super proud when I finish things and when I do master a skill, when I create something beautiful and it's not just like a sketch or I'm stuck in the middle of a process. So I guess I just wanted to start this series of really offhand videos to get some encouragement and some advice from those of you who are creating out in the world, because I know there's a billion of you. So if you could just help me out this summer, I guess my first question is, how do you stay motivated on a particular project? Not even just motivated, but focused. How do you stay motivated and focused to get any creative project done? For now, I'm Anthony, and this has been How to Write, Paint, and Podcast and Not Lose Your Mind. Peace.